One of the most played games in Roblox history just vanished. Not shut down, not archived, erased. Hundreds of millions of visits gone in a single afternoon, and the people who made it were never allowed to bring it back. And the company that did it was not Roblox. It was Nintendo, a company that does not even make Roblox games. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand the real reason why Nintendo hunts these games down so ruthlessly, because it is not really about the games at all. Stay with me, because the deeper we go, the stranger this gets. Let me start where most players start, with a game you might have actually played. It was called Pokemon Brick Bronze, and for a while, it was one of the biggest experiences on the entire platform. It let you do something no official game ever had. It let you explore a full open Pokemon world, catch creatures, battle gym leaders, and trade with friends, all inside Roblox, all for free. It racked up hundreds of millions of visits. Kids treated it like it was a real Pokemon game. In a lot of ways, it was better than one, and then, in 2018, it was gone. Roblox removed it following a copyright claim tied to the Pokemon license, which Nintendo co-owns and protects with a level of intensity most companies simply do not have. The developers tried to bring it back under new names. It got taken down again and again. The message was simple. This will never be allowed to exist. Now here is where it starts to get stranger, because Brick Bronze was not a one-time thing. It was not Nintendo noticing a single game and swatting it. It was one small piece of a pattern that stretches back years and gets more aggressive the closer you look. And the next example is worse, because at least Brick Bronze was breaking a rule. It was using Pokemon directly. The next thing Nintendo went after was not even finished. Meet a game called Pokemon Prism, a fan project made by fans for free, for love of the series. It never sold a single copy. It was set to release on a specific date in December 2016. Nintendo sent it a cease and desist letter 4 days before launch. 4 days. Years of unpaid work killed on the doorstep for a game that was never going to make anyone a cent. And if you think that is cold, we are just getting started, because the pattern keeps escalating. Let me show you how far this actually goes. In the same year, 2016, there was a fan game called Pokemon Uranium. It was so good, so polished, that it got nominated for an award at the Game Awards, one of the biggest nights in the entire industry. Think about that. A free fan game standing next to the biggest titles on Earth. And what happened? Nintendo issued a takedown. The nomination was pulled. The game was scrubbed from its official pages. That same year, a fan remake of an old Metroid game called AM2R got the exact same treatment. Also nominated, also erased. So let me ask you something. What kind of company looks at a free tribute made by its own most devoted fans, good enough to be nominated for a major award, and decides the correct response is to destroy it? Okay, deep breath, quick break, because that was a lot of doom. Here is a fun fact to reset your brain. Nintendo has been this aggressive for so long that there is basically an entire graveyard of dead fan games out there. Developers openly joke that finishing a Nintendo fan project is the fastest way to get a legal letter with your name on it. It has become a running gag in the community. You do not launch a Nintendo fan game, you launch a countdown timer. Funny, right? Except it keeps happening, and it keeps getting bigger, because the truly wild part is not the individual games, it is the scale. In December 2020, Nintendo did not go after one game. It went after a platform. In a single action, it wiped out 379 fan-made games from a site called Game Jolt. Not one, not 10, 379 in one strike. An entire ecosystem of hobbyist creators deleted in an afternoon by a company that most of them idolized. And this is the part that connects it all back to Roblox. Because Roblox is not one website, it is millions of creators, all uploading, all remixing, all building. It is the single largest pile of fan-made content that has ever existed, and a huge chunk of the young people building on it grew up on Mario, on Pokemon, on Zelda. So, of course, they want to recreate those worlds. It is love. It is a tribute. But to Nintendo, love is not a defense, and that brings us to the question I promised to answer, the real reason. The thing most players never understand. Why does Nintendo do this? Why chase down free games that make no money, built by children and hobbyists who would happily buy every real Nintendo game anyway? Here is the secret. It is not about the money those games make. It is about a legal trap called trademark dilution. Under the law, if a company does not consistently defend its characters everywhere they appear, it can slowly lose the exclusive right to control them. Every unofficial Mario, every unofficial Pokemon, even a lovingly made free one on Roblox, is technically a tiny crack in that wall of ownership. And the law does not really care that the crack was made with love. If Nintendo lets 1,000 cracks form, a court could one day decide the wall was never really theirs to defend. So, Nintendo made a choice a long time ago. Defend everything, everywhere, forever. No exceptions, no mercy, no matter how small or how sincere. Not because each individual Roblox game is a threat, but because letting even one survive sets a precedent that every future one could point to. That is why a company that has never made a Roblox game spends real time and real lawyers hunting through it. You were never really looking at a company being cruel to kids. You were looking at a company terrified of losing the one thing it values more than any single game: control of its own characters. So the next time you find an amazing fan-made version of a Nintendo world inside Roblox, and it feels almost too good to be real, remember what you now know. It is not too good to be real. It is too good to be allowed. Play it while you can, because somewhere a countdown has probably already started. One of the most played games in Roblox history just vanished. And now you know, it was never really about that game at all.